Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Steamboat Willie, and The Jungle Book. What do all these movies have in common? Well, all these movies were produced by Walter Elias Disney. Throughout Walt's life, he has accomplished many things. When I was a kid, I watched Disney movies all the time, and I still watch Disney movies all the time. So in my speech, I will be talking about Walter Elias Disney and the early years in education and his career accomplishments and the legacy that he has left behind. So first, I'll be talking about the early years in education. According to Historic Missouri Museum, he was born on December 5th in 1901 in Chicago, Illinois. He had 3 brothers and 1 sister. When he was 5 years old, his family moved to Marshland, Missouri, where he went to elementary school and middle school. In Marshland, Missouri had a huge impact on his life. A couple years later, he moved to Kansas City, and he only went to high school for 1 year, and he started drawing for his high school newspaper. After he only went to high school for 1 year, he decided to join the Red Cross Ambulance Corps in Europe after World War I, but he actually wasn't old enough, so his mom helped him lie about his age so he could join. He was in the Corps for 3 years, and after that, he moved back to Kansas City. So now that we have talked about the early days of Walt's life, I will begin talking about his career accomplishments. According to the University of Berkeley, Walt Disney is arguably the most influential figure in the 20th century dealing with animation. Disney's first job was for a commercial art studio designing advertisements, and after this, Walt got a job with the Kansas City Film Ad Company where he made 1-minute advertisements to appear before movies. With $500 borrowed from his uncle, Walt and his brother Roy moved to Hollywood and started Disney Brothers Studio. And in 1925, the studio's name actually changed to Walt Disney Studios. And in the same year, he got married to one of his employees, Lillian Bounds, and they had 2 kids. After this, Disney and his friends started working on a new cartoon character, which would later be known as Mickey Mouse. And according to Watts, inspiration for Mickey Mouse actually came from an actual pet mouse that Mickey kept in his office in Kansas City. And in 1932, he won his first Academy Award for Flowers and Trees, and also Snow White, the first full-length animation feature film. The building of Disneyland was huge for Disney. He created a fantasy world for not only children, but adults also. He based his Main Street USA, where he grew up in Marshland, Missouri, and the first Disneyland was made in California, and then Florida was where Walt Disney was first started. And now today there is Disneyland in Paris, Tokyo, Hong Kong, and according to the LA Times, sometime in late 2015 there will be another Disneyland in Shanghai. So now that we have talked about Disney's childhood and his career accomplishments, it's time to talk about the legacy that he has left behind. The Freedom Foundation presented Disney with the George Washington Award for promoting the American way of life. Also, President Johnson awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In Marshland, Missouri, they had a few things dedicated to Disney before his death. They dedicated a pool, a park, and also the Walt Disney Elementary School. According to the author of Roots of Creative Genius, Walter Elias passed away on December 15, 1966 of lung cancer. To wrap up, I would like to say that Walter Elias Disney is one of the most successful men in history. Walt Disney holds the record for both most Academy Award nominations, 59, and the number of Oscars awarded, 22. So Disney has had a very rewarding childhood. He had many career successes, and he has left behind a huge legacy. So the next time you see a Disney movie and you see the screen pop up, I hope you remember my speech and everything that Walt Disney has done.